Well, Joe Biden, in his ever-ongoing quest to dominate dementia,
I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
over the weekend endorsed transanity,
Bullshit?
transmentalism,
See, now that's some bullshit.
transidiocy,
So much bullshit.
trans madness.
You really are an asshole.
I'm just doing it for the children.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yes, Joe, you are. You are. Oh, and by the way, Satan says thank you.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
Fuck is that?
is what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are doing well today. On this Sunday, I don't do many Sunday videos, but yeah, this one I just had to do. What we've seen over the last 6 months, 7 months, and let me remind everyone, today is day 11 of the hostage crisis known as Groomer Month. This fits perfectly. You had Dementia Joe in his ever ongoing quest to dominate dementia, shot his mouth off in regards to approving, endorsing, getting on his knees, begging the wokeness to say, transanity, I got you. Transmentalism, I got you. Trans madness, I got you. But he says it's all for the children. Yes, Joe, it is. It is. This comes out of the post-millennial. Joe Biden uses White House to endorse child sex changes, yes, child mutilation, in a message to the world. Quote, I want to send a message to the entire community, especially to the very confused children who, if you allowed puberty to take its course, it would just go away. And that's medically 90%. President Joe Dementia released a message to the world for Pride Month after a Pride celebration that saw the the Tranny Madness flag, the Skittles flag, draped over the White House. Biden took to Twitter to speak about one of his favorite topics of late, sex changes for kids, because, of course, he would have nothing to do with child abuse or anything like that. I know that too many people in the alphabet community are worried and afraid about their future and their safety, Dementia said. I want to send a message to the entire community, especially to the very confused children, he said. Trans kids have been a mainstay of Biden's rhetoric since taking office. Yes. In his very first few days as president, quote unquote, he used an executive order for pronouns. Gotta love it. On last year's Trans Day of Visibility, a brand new holiday created completely out of his ass, because apparently the entire month devoted to Pride wasn't enough. Biden urged American parents to affirm your kids. Yes, mutilate your children. The so-called affirmation means acceptance by the parents of a child's whim to live as the opposite sex in a permanent feeling, and must be heeded and further with the full force of the medical industry. Affirmation entails the administration of puberty blockers, which stunts growth. Cross-sex hormones create secondary sex characteristics in the opposite sex, resulting in a permanent gynecomastia in a boy's facial hair, body hair, lowered voices in girls. Surgeries can also be involved, and they do, with double mastectomies for girls as young as 13 and genital surgeries for 18-year-olds, causing sterility. Yes, but it's all about the children. It's all for the children. You are loved. Yes, you are. Biden tweeted, you are heard, you are understood, you belong. And that was fully endorsed by Satan. Dr. Jordan Peterson, this is so wrong. Biden's obsession with trans children and the trans agenda overall has resulted in the persistent touting of the most openly alphabet-identified administration in the history of the United States. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Luc Picard, she's black, she's a lesbian or Lebanese, I guess, or she may have a badge, we don't know, and we still don't know, went so far to brief the press on her own coming out saga. Another Pride Day holiday, Biden has made sure the nation celebrated Coming Out Day in October. Yes, the month is not enough. To bastardize June is not enough. Yeah, we're going to take a day in October. During a speech earlier Saturday, Biden, before a White House draped in pride colors, Biden spoke the laws that have been proposed or passed in more than 20 states and counting to outlaw sex changes, aka protecting the children. These states have determined that the children and teens are not capable of making decisions about their lifetime of sexual function and fertility and should be permitted to grow up whole and make those decisions at a later point. Minors aren't permitted to vote, tattoos, smoke, drink, join the military, but for some unknown reason, dementia thinks they're old enough to cut off their balls and lop off their breasts. Medically altered to give the appearance of that they are the opposite sex. He calls the laws that protect children and teens a dangerous medical decision anti-trans laws, which is dangerous and obfuscation. He explained that these laws protecting children are dangerous. As a result, families across the country face excruciating decisions to relocate to a different state to protect their child from dangerous alphabet laws, anti-alphabet laws. Ask Dwayne Wade and his mentally deranged son. We need to push back against the hundreds of callous and cynical bills that laws introduce to states targeting trans children, terrifying families, and criminalizing doctors and nurses. These bills and laws attack the most basic values and freedoms. Really. Post-millennial. Biden says the laws banning child sex changes are dangerous anti-alphabet legislation targeting trans children. Let's hear a little bit from Dementia.
You know, when families across the country face excruciating decisions to relocate to a different state to protect their child from dangerous anti-LGBTQ laws, we have to act. We have to act as a nation. We need to push back against the hundreds of callous and cynical bills and laws introduced in
laws
states
protecting
targeting
children,
transgender
giving
children,
parents control, more control, but yet
criminalizing doctors and
this
nurses.
is sick
These bills
and demented
laws attack
and
the most
fucking
basic
twisted.
values and freedoms we
Shut the fuck up. His administration, he claimed, is doing everything we can to push the satanic agenda. His administration hosted has hosted multiple pride-themed celebrations, meetings across agencies where staffers praise each other for not being straight. My faults. The fact of the matter is that when you have dementia-riddled retardation on full display in front of the entire country, pretty much says it all. When you have an administration who is more worried about pronouns, who's more worried about mutilating children than it is to protect the border, have a strong foreign policy, a strong economic policy. Now, fuck all that. Fuck all that. It's about cutting off Johnny's balls and lopping off Susie's breasts. That is priority in this dementia-riddled old man's White House. You got parents across the country fighting back. We've seen Glendale. We've seen Dearborn, Michigan. We've seen Montgomery County, where literal fights have been broken out between concerned parents, Muslims, Christians joining forces in a common goal and a common cause to fight this evil. And then we have someone like Ellen Page. Remember her? She did a movie called Juno about being pro-life, and one of the strongest pro-life movies ever put out there. And then something happened to her. Voices got in her head. She clearly admitted on an Instagram post that the reason she went all trans was because voices got in her head and told her that she was in the wrong body. And she had to mutilate herself, cut off healthy breasts, and destroy her physical appearance, because later on, years later, she will regret, or she'll be a statistic. Not my words, hers. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And in the article where it says this is the most blatant, in your face support of the alphabet, the Skittles, the transmentalism, the demonic that we've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this. But then again, remember back, way back, June 25th, 2015, when the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage. When they legalized gay marriage, you had people saying, this is as far as it's going to go. It's not going to go any further. There's no slippery slope. How dare you? No. By the Supreme Court doing this, it opened up Pandora's box for everything else to follow. And now, look where we're at. But then again, it was all conspiracy, wasn't it? I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.